History books often speak of leaders as heroes, as visionaries, as men who shaped nations, but history hides a darker truth. Behind flags, speeches, and promises, there were decisions made in silence. Decisions that didn't just change borders, they erased lives. Not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, millions. This is not a story of monsters born evil. This is a story of human beings whose choices turned into mass graves. Tonight, in the Deadly Archive, we uncover the leaders whose decisions killed millions, and how the world still lives with their consequences. Power is the most dangerous weapon ever created. In the hands of the wrong person, one decision can starve a nation, ignite a war, or condemn an entire generation to suffering. These leaders did not pull every trigger themselves. They did something far worse. They ordered it, they allowed it, they ignored it, and history paid the price. Adolf Hitler did not just start a war. He engineered an ideology that divided humanity into those who deserved to live and those who did not. Under his leadership, Nazi Germany launched World War II, the deadliest conflict in human history. But war was only part of the horror. Through policies of racial purity, Hitler authorized the Holocaust, a systematic genocide that murdered 6 million Jews, along with millions of others labeled as undesirable. These were not accidents of war. They were planned, recorded, industrialized. Trains, camps, gas chambers. One man's vision turned an entire nation into a killing machine. Joseph Stalin ruled through fear. To him, human life was a resource, expendable if it served the state. Under Stalin's policy, forced collectivization caused one of the deadliest famines in history. Millions starved in Ukraine, in what is now known as the Holodomor. Food existed, grain was exported, but people were not allowed to eat it. Stalin's paranoia didn't stop there. Purges, labor camps, executions, anyone suspected of disloyalty was erased. Historians estimate 15 to 20 million deaths linked directly to his rule, not through bombs, but through policies written on paper. Mao Zedong promised equality. What followed was catastrophe. The Great Leap Forward was meant to transform China overnight. Instead, it destroyed agriculture, collapsed food systems, and silenced criticism. Farmers were forced to follow unscientific farming methods. Local officials lied to avoid punishment. The truth never reached the top. The result, one of the deadliest famines the world has ever seen. Between 30 and 45 million people died. No invasion, no natural disaster, just decisions made by a leader who refused to admit failure. Pol Pot believed cities were evil, education was dangerous, intelligence was a threat. When he took power in Cambodia, he ordered the evacuation of entire cities, doctors, teachers, children, forced into labor camps. If you wore glasses, you could be executed. If you spoke a foreign language, you could disappear. In just 4 years, nearly a quarter of Cambodia's population died, not because of war, but because a leader tried to reset humanity to year zero. King Leopold II of Belgium never set foot in much of the land that bled for him. The Congo Free State was his personal property. Under his rule, villages were burned, hands were cut off, and millions were worked to death to extract rubber and resources. Estimates suggest 10 million deaths caused by forced labor and brutality, all for profit, all hidden behind civilization's mask. Different eras, different cultures, same result. Absolute power, no accountability, human lives reduced to numbers. These leaders didn't wake up one day planning mass death. They believed their cause was more important than human life, and that belief is where the killing truly began. Not all deadly decisions involve armies, sanctions that starve civilians, environmental neglect that poisons water, ignoring pandemics until it's too late. Modern leaders may wear suits, not uniforms, but their choices can still kill silently. History is not finished. The archive is still growing because leaders still make decisions that affect millions, and because silence is permission. Every time the world looks away, history repeats itself. The dead cannot speak, but history can warn us. These leaders are gone. Their victims are not forgotten. The question is not who was the most evil. The real question is how many died before anyone said enough. Power will always exist. The danger lies in who we give it to. This has been the Deadly Archive, because history doesn't just remember, it judges.